Alright guys, in the last video we created our form for our contacts. Now we want to give functionality to this form. We know that we can submit it now to the create contact method here, but we want to submit it to the database. So we're going to need a way to communicate with our back end, and we're going to use Axios, which is an HTTP client. So let's go over to our console, and this is the npm run watch. I'm going to keep that running and just open up a new tab here. Let's say new console. If you're not using Commander and you're using Windows command line, just open up another command prompt or a terminal, whatever you're using. All right, and then let's just go into the correct folder here. So let's see, htdocs/contact store. And from here, we're going to go npm install, let's do -- save, and then Axios. All right, while that's going, let's go over to the app.js file in the resources assets folder. And we need to bring in Axios in order to use it. And we're going to do it right above the view component. So let's say, we'll say let Axios equals require Axios. Okay, and that'll bring it in. And then we can access this from our component. So let's go back to contacts.view. And we're going to go down to create contact. And we need to basically access the current context when we submit this. So we're going to create a variable called self, and we're going to set it to this. Okay, and then we want to create a parameter called params and set that to object.assign, and I'll explain this in a second. And then we're going to pass in an empty object and then self.contact. All right, so we're merging an object with another. Okay, so this object.assign, we're merging the parameters that we're submitting to the current object. So once we have this params, we can then pass this into an Axios request. So from here, let's say Axios.post, because we want to make a post request. Excuse me. And if we look at the routes that we're submitting to, the API.php, we're going to this one right here. All right, so we're making a post request to contact store. So let's go in here and let's say API/contact/store, and then we're just going to pass along those params. All right, and actually we don't want a semicolon here because this is going to be asynchronous, so we're going to use .then, and inside here we want a function. And what we want to do is, first of all, clear the form. So we should have access to self.contact.name, and we'll set that to nothing because we want to basically just reset that input. We're going to do the same with the email and with the phone. Okay, and then we're going to set edit to false. So self.edit, and we're going to set that to false. All right, and then we're going to call a function called fetch contact list, which we haven't created yet. So let's say self.fetch contact list. Oops. Okay, and then if there's an error when we make this request, we can actually catch an error after the .then. So let's just go .catch. And in here, just like with .then, there's going to be a function, and it'll be passed error, and then we'll just console.log that error. Oops. All right, and then we can get rid of this return right here. Okay, so let's save that, and then Let's see. We'll create the fetch contact list. Let's actually put that right above create contact. So that's going to be, fetch contact list, and we're going to set that to function. And you want to put a comma right there. And then let's just do a console log. And we'll say fetching contacts. And then for now, let's just return. All right, so we'll save that. Let's go over here and reload. Okay, everything should have got compiled because we have npm run watch running. Now, before we even try to submit the form, let's actually fetch the contacts, because I honestly can't remember if we added contacts already to SQLite or not. I think we did, but let's just do this. It's easy enough. So in here, I guess we'll leave the console log, and then let's do axios.get, because it's going to be a get request. I don't know why I keep putting that semicolon. And we're going to get it from API/contacts. And let's do .then. Let's see, .then, and then that's going to give us a response. So we can do function. Actually, let's put this on a new line. Function, that's going to give us a response. And then in here, let's see, what do we want to do? Let's actually add it to the list. Remember, we created this list array right here. So we'll say this.list, and we'll set that to response.data. All right, and let's also console.log the response. Actually, we'll do response.data. Oops, that's not right. Right here. Okay, and then we can also add a catch to this if there's any errors. So let's say .catch. Okay, and then this will give us error, and we'll just console log. All right, so let's save that. And let's see, we actually want to run this fetch contacts list when the component loads. So right here, let's say this dot fetch contact list. Okay, we'll save that and reload. All right, so we get fetching contacts, so we know that this is running. But okay, so it's giving us an empty array as a response. Cannot set property list of undefined. So let's see, that's talking about right here, this dot list. All right, you know what's happening here is it doesn't know the context of this from within this regular function. So what we can do here is we can use ES6 arrow functions, and that should fix this issue. So instead of passing in, function response, let's take away the function keyword and then just add an arrow right here like that. All right, we might as well do the same thing with the catch. Take away function and then put an arrow like that. And let's save and reload. And now we don't get that message, okay? And it's returning an empty array. So let's go ahead and try to insert a contact. We'll say John Doe. Phone number. All right, update. Oh, update. That's not right. Oh, you know what? I never set edit back to false, that's why. All right, so let's do that. Now it says new contact, so let's try it again. New contact. Let's see, creating contact, and then we get an error, 500 error. And we're posting to contactstore.dev/API/contact/store. Which I believe is correct, right? API contact store. Let's check our route file here. So post to contact store, and it should include API because we have that as our middleware group. That's good. Oh, you know what, guys? Let's go check out the model. So if we go to app and then contact, we didn't. In order for us to be able to insert the values like that, we have to define the fillable property. So we need to do protected fillable, and then we need to create an array with the values we want to be able to fill. So name, email, and phone. All right, we'll save that. So that should hopefully fix it. Let's reload this. And then we're going to say John Doe, phone number, new contact. All right, and then down here, you see we get an object back. And yep, there it is. I don't know why it's like that, but you can see that we're getting that object back because what's happening is it's calling the fetch list or fetch contact list, and then we're logging the data. It's also being put into the list array, which we haven't done anything yet in the actual application, but we know we are getting that response. So in the next video, we're going to take that response and we're going to list the contacts down here.